going on, everybody? Welcome to the Whatever We Want podcast. I am one of your hosts of the show. Yes, I go by the name of Jazz, or you can call me Super Jazz, SJJT, whatever you want, what have you,
Super Jazz.
as nature intended, what have you, and the like. And yes, as always, I am joined by the other host of this show.
Yes, you all know who it is, what's going on, when it's happening, where it's at, and why we're here today. How you doing? It is I, the sublimely magnificent Omari Ellis Veo Grande on YouTube. Pete, sometimes on the show as well. I am awesome here.
And yes, everyone, as I said, this is the Whatever We Want podcast, where we talk about just that. We talk about whatever we want. We do not lead this conversation. This conversation leads us, and we let these chips fall where they maw is law.
Wow. Could call it law, indeed. But, wow. Speaking of which, I'll touch on that first. Or yeah, I'll touch on this past weekend, and I'll touch on the weekend before that. But yes, Kakar is indeed the law, my good sir. Went to a game this past weekend.
Great tell.
Yes, it was a UFL game. It took place in Orlando, Florida, and it involved the, at the time, undefeated Orlando Storm taking on the 500 St. Louis Battlehawks. 500 meaning their win and loss record 50%. So they got as many wins as they got losses, or
Oh, shit.
0.500%. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
500 is what they refer to it as. So the Battlehawks not doing well coming in. But I didn't know this. I just went anyway. Ended up enjoying it. I well, and also was invited because a friend of mine happened to get the tickets. So we go, and the seats are great seats, literal back
Yeah.
corner of the end zone, first row.
You
Can
sent us.
see the field right on. Unfortunately, if a ball would have come our way, we would have had to throw it back. Apparently, UFL's like, we don't have the money to have like a lot of balls, so if a ball goes into the crowd, please throw it back.
Oh, because of the NFL ball coach away, they're like, fuck it.
Yeah, you see it all the
Sacrifice.
time where like some players like Cam Newton, and he would get a touchdown in
Oh,
Carolina,
yeah, they give it to people.
he would literally give it to a fan. And yeah, or baseball, someone hits a home run into the crowd, then
Of course not.
that's theirs. Um, they're like, yeah, you can't. Uh, we only got so many of those. We're on a budget. That said, game was fun. I enjoyed it. Battlehawks won. There were a decent amount of blue shirts and jerseys and the like in our crowd, but it was still mainly an Orlando crowd. I got to meet Captain Hawkeye. I'm not sure if he's the Fireman Ed equivalent of the Battlehawks, but he might as well be. I kind of hope he is. He's
Fireman Ed
just
is
this old, huh?
Fireman Ed is Jets.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So if he's like, and when I say I hope he is, I mean in the sense that he's just, like super fan that, of legend type stuff, not any real life implications. But anyway, he seemed cool. I got to meet him, shook his hand. He asked where I was. It came up that I was from St. Louis. He asked what part. I said Ferguson, Florissant, but I've lived all around the city. He said he was from Hazelwood.
Oh shit.
So yeah, I'm like, oh, Hazelwood, yeah, that's right by. He's like, oh yeah, we're practically family. We're right by each other. Because Hazelwood and Florissant, as you know, literally like right by each other.
Right.
Um, so that was cool. He had a sign, he had a call his law sign. It was kind of funny at one point where the Orlando team is called the Storm, and it is kind of funny because there was a heavy rain downpour yesterday. Which, by the way, if your city is known for raining, constantly, or your state for that
I
matter.
have an open air stadium.
And you happen to have an open air stadium, maybe having people get rid of their umbrellas at the door, probably not something that should be a thing.
I could see why. I'm not. I'm.
I know, I know.
What
There's
am I about to say?
security concerns and stuff like that. Someone
Not even
could
just that.
sneak something in, but
What I was gonna say was you shouldn't have an open air stadium. You should have a dome so that way you can alleviate that anyway. If you're gonna have it, let people. But they're probably thinking of not just security but visibility too, because they already got their fucking umbrella open. Everybody around you can't see worth a fuck. But and just have a goddamn dome. Like if you have storms all the fucking time. Anyway, go ahead.
yeah, but that was kind of funny. But there was a part where they had the crowd like yelling "storm, storm, storm, storm," and I just started joking around to yell like "caw, caw, caw." No one was gonna hear me anyway, for real,
I'm trying to
because
try to get you up.
yeah. And then I hear someone behind me yelling "caw," and I turn and it's Captain Hawkeye with his side yelling "caw, caw," and I just turned to him like, "Caw." I like that. I'll help. There's
That's what's
another dude in the area who had like a chain with the Battlehawks logo on it, which he probably could get in St. Louis at one of the games because they had Storm ones here. There was no Battlehawks merch at the stadium. It was only Storm,
as it should be.
which, well, yeah, but I could imagine them having like a limited amount of whatever fan thing. Hey, money's money.
This is true. That's very true.
It's like you ain't gonna be able to buy a lot. We're gonna sell a lot of it real fast if you're gonna buy it, but you can buy it. That's what I would say. That's why I said that. Like maybe it would be a chance, but luckily I've had this since it was still an XFL team, and it's on the
Right.
side. Yeah. So that was this past weekend, and that was a fun time. And especially because the Battlehawks won and the team's no longer undefeated. And
Yeah.
it's the first time in a long time I've actually been able to leave a stadium with the team I went there to watch as being victorious.
Does that mean
I
does that mean you're bad luck? I'm joking.
mean, maybe.
Because
Panthers ain't been good since I've been a fan.
I don't
Um,
believe in the sports superstitions that a lot of motherfuckers do. So
yeah. But before that, there was another thing 2 weekends ago that we have not talked about, at least you and me. Not sure if you watched any because you've been a busy man, may not have had the free time, but it only happens once a year where
oh
Hollywood and wrestling
yeah,
combine.
yeah, yeah, yeah. WrestleMania?
WrestleMania. Yes.
Dude, there's been 40 fucking two of these things.
Yes.
First off, what the fuck?
Yeah, we talked about 17 on another episode.
Facts. There's been 42. That's crazy. Um, so no, I did not watch all of night one or night two.
Okay.
I watched a little bit of night one with shout out to Big Bro Ibn. He came over.
Oh, that's the one night you guys chose. I'm
I was
sorry.
about to say the bad thing is that at night one out of the two, night one was the one that was making everybody say "fuck WWE for life." Night two gave it a little bit of life support, um, and apparently Roman and Punk had like an all-time match in a sea of bullshit. But look, man, we talked about 17 on another episode, yes. And somebody who been growing up with this shit where it was around before I was even came into being, let alone my entire life. It is what it is, but I am not a fan of the two night WrestleMania shit. I understand why they do it. They do it for two reasons. They do it one to get more wrestlers on the show, and even more so they do it because it's more money. They started doing it in the first place because fans begged for this shit. Outside of anything else, we can fucking shit on WWE. There's a lot of reasons to shit on WWE for what they do. Fans begged for this shit. After I think it was 35, where they were like, yo, this whole thing was fucking 7 hours with the pre-show. We were here for too fucking long, blah, blah, blah. And I spend a lot of time online because I don't really watch like, a full weekly wrestling show from top to bottom, whether it's TNA, AEW, WWE, whatever. But I do keep up with the shit because I still am a wrestling fan like that. And fans were begging for this shit. I'm talking about from the people who I watch who report on wrestling and give, vlog on it, journalists, whatever, to fans, everything. Everybody was saying, we need 2 hours. It should be 2 hours. They should go to 2 hours. It was too long. It was too long. They begged for fucking 2 hours. Now, what WWE should have done, and I understand they did what they did, but they should have just kept the fucking shit to 4 hours, maybe a little 4 hour plus, and probably give you an hour of, dark match or pre-show and then called it a fucking day. They were trying to fit everybody on the fucking show, so that's why you have a whole fucking workday shift of wrestling, which was too much people to sit through. Okay, cool. I'm glad, shout out to Big Bro again, that when Ibn won the wrestling tickets years ago to get us to WrestleMania 26, which I'm forever thankful for, it was still a one night event. I would be mad if I paid to go see WrestleMania. I'd be happy to go see WrestleMania in general. Fuck that. But I would be a little upset if I went to see WrestleMania and I saw night one out of this, and everybody's talking about night one was not the best. Night one was ass, yada yada, and I didn't get to see night two, which everybody's like, "Yo, this was actually kind of good," and you had an all-time main event with CM Punk and Roman Reigns. But I missed it, and I can't go back and see it. And if you want to see night two, you got to pay buku crazy money to see one and two. So not only would I have missed it, but yeah, what if I wanted to see Cody Randy as well as I wanted to see Oba Brock and Orton. I mean not Orton. Oba Brock and Reigns and Punk. So I don't know. I know I sound a little bit like some old man yelling at cloud with this shit. I get it. I've definitely, 35. I didn't hit unk status, as the kids calling us these days and shit. But I sound like an old man with it, but give me my night one, man. Give me everything that's supposed to happen at the biggest stage of them all in one fucking night. So I don't fucking get some fucking FOMO and miss out on some possible good shit. Here's what it is. My rant's over for now. That said, for the entirety of the whole night two deal, WrestleMania 42 in and of itself was apparently just a bad WrestleMania to begin with. Whatever night you went to outside of
So, as someone who watched both nights,
talk to me.
I will say that this, no, it's not the best WrestleMania it is. It's probably not even like top five manias for me or top 10 or you know what I mean. It's not gonna make a list of my favorite WrestleManias. That said, it actually, I do think, especially after talking with Bill a couple days after, I do think it was kind of overhated or kind of exaggerated just how bad it
People
was.
shat on this
It
one.
was, yeah. And as someone who shat on night one, like I said, I talked with Bill and stuff. And when I look back on it, it actually wasn't there. Like I said, there have been far worse manias than this. That said, yeah, we can talk about Speed having a match, whatever. If y'all want to be mad that celebrities are at WrestleMania, then you're mad that WrestleMania exists.
Right.
That
I agree.
is what's gonna happen. You can be mad that they're in specific storylines, maybe, but they're going to be at Mania. And that said, and to Speed's credit, I will give him the same credit I give any other celebrity. If you're willing to actually do shit and take bumps in your matches, I don't care. Do you? You're putting your body on the line
Hmm?
to get your moment.
Agreed.
You're not, yeah. You got to be here based off of non-wrestling shit, but you're here to do what all the wrestlers are doing anyway. You're still here to hurt yourself for other people's entertainment. Um, so there's that. A couple of the other matches. The Paige return was cool, and the fact that she returned. Only thing I really didn't like about the match was the fact that her winning meant Bella had to win. Um,
I wish that we could have gotten a little bit more of a build up to the possibility of Paige returning or like a tease or something before it was just like, hey, here's Paige. Okay.
I'm fine with it being, hey, here's Paige. I'm tired of
That's,
everything. I'll get to that in a second when it comes to that shit, fucking leaks and shit. Um,
I'm in build up with
but
that leaks, but go ahead.
yeah, I'm fine with the surprise return. What else? Drew versus Jacob.
Fatu.
Yeah, Drew versus Jacob Fatu. Good match. Not as unsanctioned as an unsanctioned match should be, but still a decent match. The same thing with the main thing I think that ruined night one and really made it be as sour as it was is the
Mhm.
fact that a lot of the stuff was shorter than it needed to be. The heavy amount of commercials,
That's the
which
biggest.
night two had heavy commercials too, but the heavy amount of commercials to the fact that there was almost more commercial than there was wrestling content
That's the
on the
biggest.
show.
Everybody's been saying, yeah,
Um,
short ass matches with a lot of ads. That's what everybody
But
was.
the quality of the matches themselves actually wasn't that bad in the long run. Pat McAfee, yeah, he was involved in the main event, but he also went through a table very fucking early in the match and didn't come back to the end. And you know what? He did better in his ending of his match than fucking Travis Scott last year with everyone's favorite song.
Oh,
Fucking,
fiend, 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 fiend.
fucking hate that song. I don't like that song. Anyway, but
You make a
yes,
song. How you
night
make a song that's so fucking smooth? Like I get those goosebumps every time you are around me. I get the, and then you go to fiend, fiend. Like what the fuck?
it is what it is.
It is what it is.
Um, night two though, I had been asked in weeks leading up to it
Mhm,
by Bill about my anticipation on the of the matches at Mania
mhm.
and what matches I was looking forward to. And he would tell me to rank them on a scale.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Okay.
I gave some matches like an 85 or a 50. I had a lot of 50s and 60s. And then he asked me about one match, and I instantly said 100 as far as my looking forward to it.
I feel like I know what it is.
Can you guess which match
You
that
do you want me
was?
to guess, or do you
Go ahead. You
go with
probably will get it on the first try.
Femi versus Brock
Yes.
Lesnar?
Oh, yes. Full order. Said
It's the
the
only match
100 right
everybody
off the
thinks
bat.
of
Well,
out of
not
every.
well. They did not expect me to say 100. As in my main match I'm looking forward to on this Mania that has shit like the return of the Demon and Punk Roman and all the other shit that was going on.
I
Nah,
will
I
say,
wanted over. I didn't want no bread. I ain't want no water. I just wanted the meat. You don't want no bread,
that's
no
funny. I like
water,
that.
just meat.
I mean,
Fucking
dude, I
Booker T.
looked up. Obafemi's entrance because I was, you know, I had been hearing about him. I had been seeing some stuff here and there. Of course, everybody saw the build up where he powerbombed Brock, and Brock selflessly said, "Put your foot on my chest" to make him look good and all that shit. Of course, everybody talked about that. But I hadn't really seen like his interest. I had seen everybody talking about the strut and all that shit. I hadn't really seen it. I looked it up and I said, "This is fucking pro wrestling right here."
Okay.
Big ass dude that looks scary as shit. What do you think I was about to say?
You know what? I heard everybody talk about this guy and his front, do all of that. I looked this shit up, man. This is the most overrated shit I've
No,
seen in
no,
a long ass
no.
time, man.
I looked it up. My first thought was, this is fucking pro wrestling. I was like, you got this big ass menacing looking dude that when he comes out and he starts strutting and to the beat, the entire crowd goes, who, 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 and they just, oh,
Yeah, they
my.
gave him the Goldberg chance.
And he just looking serious. He's got his own fucking walk, which in wrestling, the more you can customize anything that's perfect. He got his own walking shit. I'm like, this is fucking wrestling, bitch. This is what I love about this shit. Larger than life motherfuckers, whether you're huge or not, your persona's larger than life. The entire crowd participating to say, this is our guy to go in there and beat up that guy. I
Mm.
loved it. I instantly loved it. I was like, yes. And then the
Yeah,
nickname like the ruler is cool as fuck. Like,
yeah. I've liked Obafemi since I first saw, like, well, I usually like that archetype of character anyway.
mm,
So it was not easy. It was not difficult at all to sell me on Obafemi. I'm like, so I was like, yeah, this guy's cool. Then I see him. Yep, he's cool. Oh, he says he's the ruler, and he goes out there and he just beats people. And and before I get on to like the rest of the night and stuff, but it's something that I've also heard from. I want to say I've also heard this from Bill, where moments like this, technically, he said it with that first power bomb a few weeks ago or a few months ago. Moments like that are why you sit through your Taker streak endings, your Kofi Manias, your whatevers, because that makes this guy finally getting bodied by Oba that much more big and stuff like that. Like, yes, you don't. Bill has always said that, yeah, maybe Kofi doesn't lose in 19 seconds, but I'm not saying nothing like that. And I've always said I'm fine with Kofi losing to Brock when he lost to Brock. I was just mad at the match happening the way it did because that was some old bullshit as far as I'm concerned. Like, let him have a match. Why's it gotta be that? But at the same time, the reaction people got, and especially like, yeah, Brock, like to do that to Brock at Mania. Like Brock, like yeah, Brock's win and loss record ain't at Mania is apparently right at is a 500 pretty much. He's got as many wins as he has losses at Mania somehow. Nonetheless, Brock the character did have a WrestleMania buff.
yeah.
And if you don't believe me, people at home, Brock's WrestleMania buff was so strong it overpowered The Undertaker's WrestleMania buff.
I, I was gonna say this. My thing with WrestleMania 30 and with the take
I
with
didn't
Undertaker.
like it, but it happened.
Well, I was gonna say, yeah, I know that. I was gonna say with Taker's streak, I will forever say caveat, the streak should have never ended in the first fucking place. He should have retired
Agreed.
with it. But WrestleMania 30, the biggest thing outside of him winning over Taker and beating the streak, you know, that, we already probably didn't want to see happen and it was a surprise. We still didn't, what made it crazier and worse, just to be honest, is we didn't get a good match because Taker got concussed. I believe if Taker didn't get concussed, as much as we may or may not have wanted the streak to end, it still would have ended on a better note because we would have had a better match. The match itself is not that great of a match. on top of it being the streak ending because
I'm
Taker got.
not gonna lie. I don't remember being mad at the match itself, just
I
the
remember the
ending.
match being not much of nothing
Okay,
because Taker got concussed too.
I
So,
believe you. You
so
said
that's
he got
why.
concussed.
That's why
Yeah,
the, like it's even more of a like a damn. It's like do you finally beat him? And we've had better matches where people
yeah.
lost.
But for Oba Femi to come out and do what he did to Brock after everything Brock's done over all the years, to finally have that happen, which by the way, him doing that strut for the entire WrestleMania ramp. Hilarious. The only other thing more hilarious to me about the person walking down the WrestleMania ramp was fucking Randy on night one, doing his Randy slow walk down that long ass fucking ramp.
The
But I'm
three
like, of course Randy's gonna take like 10 minutes to get down this ramp.
I've always said the three people who take the longest to get in the ring are Taker because Taker actually has pageantry and other extra shit.
Oh yeah, he's dead.
Undertaker, Randy Orton, and Roman Reigns, and
Roman does take a long time now.
they take a long time just because they fucking walk slow. Taker got all this extra shit. They just take a long time just
Taker
because.
walks slow too.
Well, he walks slow.
Taker
He
walks
don't, he don't,
slow.
he
He
don't
works
walk
it
slow
into
as
his
Randy.
character, but he walks, huh?
He don't walk as slow as Randy. Because Undertaker got fucking druids coming out, fucking souls trying to snatch him, or other extra shit a lot of times.
And then he still takes like 5 minutes to get down to the ring, buddy. It's the goddamn Undertaker.
Don't hit me with the buddy. Oh,
Taker definitely. Like Randy learned it from him, and Roman learned it from Randy.
those are my three. They take forever to get to the ring.
They're
It works
like
for their character, but they take forever to get to the ring.
it does. That said, speaking of Roman, his match with Punk was really good. Oh yeah, Seth Gunther night one wasn't terrible. It was actually pretty solid too. But we had the ladder match night two, no complaints. Oh, by the way, the Usos, I forget if they were night one or night two, but something that WWE and their goddamn trying to change theme musics.
What did
Okay,
they?
I've laughed about this in the past and how they always do it in a lazy fashion. Sometimes it's unique, but then it ends up getting lazy. Before I get to the Usos, I'm gonna talk about one of my favorite examples of Mr. Heath Slater and the three-man band. So Heath Slater, annoying character, very, very low Carter, deserved to be, let's be honest.
Shout out to
Uh
Big Bro Ibn talking about he just won this.
his just saw the man is the kind of face you want to slap. Um,
Oh, shit.
he Heath Slater had a thing where his gimmick, terrible gimmick of I'm a one man Southern rock band. What the fuck does that even mean? You never even saw the guy with an instrument, but that's what he was, and his music would start with a "I'm just one man," and
OMRB.
yeah, and then eventually they weren't doing anything with him or Drew McIntyre or Jinder Mahal. Put him in a group three-man band because he had the Heath Slater thing of one man band. So now he's in a group of three. They're a three-man band. So they make a song where the song starts with them saying, instead of "I'm just one man," it's a song where it's like, but it is a completely different song. It's like a rock song, blah blah blah. The chorus gets to the point like, okay, whatever. 3MB breaks up. Two of them fired from the company. Now it's just Heath Slater. Clearly, he's going to go back to his first theme. No. You know what they do? They change the opening to "I'm just one man, but I'm a one man band." And then the song kicks in. And you're like, oh, they changed the song from three-man band to I'm a one-man band. Nope. It gets to the chorus and it still goes band. So they just were so lazy. They just changed the intro and were like, that's all we need to do. Everyone's gonna think that that's the words. They fucking Kanye gold diggered it. Where has Jamie Foxx say she take my money once at the very beginning of the song before the beat even kicks in, and then everyone just thinks that every Ray Charles sample is saying she take my money. And I know this because I've complained about the fact that the song's called Gold Digger, but he keeps saying she give me money throughout the whole thing, which is not what a gold digger does.
I never thought about that because obviously no shit, but I never thought about she gave me money. Right, I never
When
thought
I'm
about
in need. She
when
gives
I'm
me
in
money
need.
when I'm in need.
If you a gold digger, you're not gonna give me money, let alone when I need it.
And when I tell people this, they're like, no, he says she take my money. Jamie Foxx said that once at the very beginning. The rest of the song is she give me money when I'm in need. But you just, anyway, Usos had their old thing. I'm on top, beat bop boop, zeep bop bop, zeeky bookity dook, or whatever. They had that song. Then eventually they're like, let's get harder. We got this Uso penitentiary stuff. I've been with you forever. You've been with me forever. We've been down since, I don't know, day one-ish. I don't fucking know. We've been down since day one-ish. And you have their song, down since day one-ish. Down since. Yeah, cool shit. And then they break up. Now they're not together. They're no longer down since day one-ish. But one of them gets to keep the song. Not both of them. Just Jay. It's just him, Oos. Day one-ish. Just me, Oos. Day one-ish. I'm like, okay, it's just me, Oos, day one. Okay, I see what y'all did. You're just trying to switch it. Then they get back together a week before Mania. And they change it to it's just us, Oos. Day one-ish. We don't go back to down since day one-ish, the song that we were just parodying to have a solo version for Jay. We already have a tag team version of the song.
Yep.
So, but we go to It's Just Us Oos. Internet gets mad, makes fun of it, so they change it for Mania. It's you and me, Oos. Day one. I'm like, you're doing this shit on purpose at this point. Just
I didn't realize the internet got mad, so they changed it to is you. I just
I
knew it
feel
was
like it because
you.
I saw people making fun of the fact that it changed a lot on Twitter, and then they changed it again less than a week later to "It's you and me, Oos."
Them changing it to that. If they changed it for the internet, they changed it to that. That's some trolling shit. Because you didn't change shit. You just like just flip a few words around. You knew what people were complaining about. So to change it to that just means you were just trying to be a dick face. That's funny.
I'm like, the tag team version exists.
Just go back to down since day one
It's
ish.
like if the Shield reunites, and then you just hear like Sierra Hotel, Echo, India, Lima, Delta. Oh, hey,
Oh,
oh, oh,
or actually, no. You would keep the Shield music, but you would change the opening. Like instead of instead.
or you have the choir doing their whole build up. Oh, dun, 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 dun. And you said the old song, but you have the build up where it's something else. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm talking about the intro would be different, but you keep the music the same. That's what I was getting at, right?
Well, initially I was saying
Yeah,
you
yeah,
change it to the Shield intro, but you have
yeah.
Roman's current
Right,
music.
right. I got that. Yeah, but I was saying,
It's like
it'd be like instead keep the same like Shield, damn up, or whatever, but change it to like Romeo, Echo, India, Golf.
yeah,
Just
you
change
can't
this
even. You're right. You can't even do the. You can't have them spell out shield. You have them spell out like sword or
right
some shit.
sword. Sword.
Hey, it works for Marvel.
Yeah,
You're aware of sword, right?
I'm aware of Sword in Marvel.
Yeah.
I'm aware of Shield in Marvel. What the fuck is Sword in Marvel?
They're a government organization that I believe it's Sentient Worlds something something. They mainly deal with aliens.
You ain't fucking with me. This is some real like
Nope.
shit. Okay, I've never heard of Sword in Marvel.
Agent Brand has green hair and sunglasses. She dealt a lot with X-Men and stuff.
Only heard of Shield with Marvel.
Well,
Oh,
Sword exists.
speaking of, are you going to see Brand New Day?
It's a brand new day and the sun is high. All the birds are singing that you're gonna die. You don't know what that's from.
Not at motherfucking all.
Ooh, I'm sure Bill knows what that's from. Anyway, um, if not, I may be able to suggest it. That said,
Fucking
the
movie.
thing is a thing that I'm talking about. What were you asking me? Brand new day.
Brand New
Spider-Man,
Day, yeah,
Spider-Man.
in July,
Maybe,
the next MCU installment.
maybe.
The MCU is on life support like a motherfucker right now.
Hence the maybes. The Spider-Man movies, for me,
They're
have
good.
always hit. Well, you know how fandoms can be. For
But
me,
it's
though,
almost
the
collective.
Spider-Man movies have always hit.
It's almost consensus that people say the one shining beacon of the MCU trailing off is the Spider-Man movies are usually always still good. Homecoming was great. It was a fun time. What was it with Jake Gyllenhaal? Far From Home. Far From Home was one of the best modernized depictions of Mysterio or something like that I've ever seen. The way they took it from spoiler maybe question mark, the way they took it from making Mysterio be magic to making him have a whole team of people making a whole CGI thing. I'm like, that's the 2020s. That was fucking. That was perfect how they did that shit.
Yeah.
And then of course you got No Way Home, which spoilers not maybe, but they brought back the other two Spider Man because it's supposed to be multiverse shit. So
Wait, what?
you knew that shit.
Yeah.
So now that we've got Brand New Day, which is the first movie of the Spider Man movies in the MCU to not have home somewhere in the title too. But this is
Yeah, I don't like that.
oh yeah, who knows what they're trying to do, right?
I
But
like the
this
names. I like it when name schemes make sense.
home, 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 homecoming, far from home, no way home. Uh, but I'm excited to see it because Tom Holland is great. Like I said, the Spider-Man movies are like I say a shining beacon with it and all that stuff. The MCU's on fucking life support, so that's why the only two movies they're doing this year, MCU wise, are the Spider-Man movies, which everybody loves. And in case of emergency break glass, we brought Robert Downey Jr. back to
That
close
pisses
out
me
the year.
off. Like that
It
almost
really
makes me
does.
not want to do it.
That really
No.
pisses you.
Yes. Let somebody else be Doctor Doom.
Apparently, you would probably know better than me, but apparently there's some like MCU timeline or multiverse or whatever where Tony Stark was Doctor Doom.
It ain't the main timeline,
No,
which
of
is what
course
they're
not. That's
trying to
why I'm
make this
genuinely
out to
like
be.
asking. I'm genuinely.
Also, it isn't that he's coming back to be Doctor Stark. I thought he's coming back to be Doctor Doom. And
No,
third,
he's
if
yeah,
you
he's
want to
coming.
make that a twist, make it a twist. No need to fucking leak it now. Now, before I get back into my thing of leaks, I'm glad you reminded me about that shit. Sword. They not only exist in the comics, they exist in the MCU as well. But they're the Sentient Weapon Observation and Response Division. And yes, they mainly deal with aliens and extra dimensional threats or whatever. In the MCU, they showed up during WandaVision. So if you didn't see WandaVision, that's why.
Yeah,
Uh, which WandaVision is one of the shows that directly had an impact on the movies.
Multiverse of Madness, very
Yeah.
much definitely that one.
But anyway, yeah, leaks. I hate them. I can hate them, and I
Okay.
continue to hate them. I hate spoiling the surprise. Like for example, now hopefully it's a fake leak, but if it's a real leak, now I'm gonna be really mad because again the surprise was already spoiled. Um, Evo Japan's coming up this coming week. There's a cool set I'm looking forward to that I don't know how long we are into this, so I might have to talk about it another day when we get to it, but I'm looking forward to the set.
Got about
Um,
10 minutes.
oh, we got plenty of time for me to talk about that. Sweet. But but I'll get to that in a second then. But Street Fighter 6, people are thinking maybe there might be an announcement for the new upcoming season and whatever DLC characters are coming out. And somebody leaked a list of characters, including three people from Street Fighter that you may not have heard of. Actually, you may have heard of. You know, I know you heard of Vega.
Of course,
But
the
do
clock.
you know who Goken is?
I do not know that name.
Okay. What about Hager? You might have heard of Hager because he's also in Marvel vs. Capcom 3.
How about to say, is that the dude with the pipe? No, that's not the dude with the pipe.
Yes, the dude with the pipe. It's the mayor.
Shit. Okay, yeah, yeah,
The mayor who's a wrestler. Guess who he
yeah,
was
yeah,
inspired by?
yeah, yeah.
But anyway, it was supposed to be him, Tim, and Tifa from Final Fantasy VII.
With the gloves, fingerless red gloves and shit.
Yeah. And people are, a lot are happy, a lot were, then turned out it was a fake, it was a lie. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you. If Tifa was put in the game, I'd be happy about it. Call me what you will, but I do like the character.
Mhm.
Um, I'm not even gonna act like I don't. Where the hell is my? Oh, damn it! The bag's on the other side of the room. I was gonna show something, but I don't feel like moving. So anyway, bottom line is I like the character, but turns out maybe AI. So maybe it wasn't an actual leak. But my thing that it still brings up my point, like people that rush to do these kind of leaks piss me
Right.
off because one, if it gets to the event and whatever comes out isn't what the leak says, you don't get the crowd response. People in the crowd are now pissed off because they didn't got their hopes up for what the leak said. And now suddenly this thing that people may even grow to like, or it may be something they like. It just wasn't that thing the leak said, so now they're unjustifiably booing it. Or it is that thing the leak said, and you still don't get a response because no one's surprised.
I don't
It's
understand.
just they expected it to happen. So, well,
I don't
I
understand.
found out 3 weeks ago.
Why do people? I understand. Look, I'm gonna see Brand New Day. I'm gonna see Doomsday because I've seen pretty much every MCU movie, whether a few of them I fell asleep on or not. I've pretty much seen most of them, except for what was it, fucking Eternals or whatever, which nobody saw. I've seen them all in theaters. But
I've seen Eternals.
there you go. My best friend and one of my close friends has seen that. But I don't understand. Obviously, we in a perfect world we would not have to wait for this shit. The shit we'd be able to go see everything tomorrow and the next day and the next day. Okay, why ruin the surprise for yourself though? Imagine, obviously, yes, it's a spoiler alert, even though everybody knows it by now, and I just said it. But imagine going to see Endgame and already knowing that Tony Stark dies. That would ruin the fucking movie. Why would you want to ruin that for yourself, man? That's the biggest thing I don't get with spoiler shit. Outside of everything else, it's like, yo, I want to know all of this shit. Yes, I do. But I'm the kind of person, I said this to Ibn, we went to see, we could talk about this too for a second, maybe not, whatever. But we went to see the new Michael movie by Michael Jackson. And people were, the reviews have been all over the fucking place. Audiences are fucking giving it like, the last thing I saw, audiences gave it like 96 review, critics gave it like 38. So it's such a huge margin between critics and audiences. But I was saying to him, and I'm so true, and I really mean I don't want to know anything about a movie, especially a movie I really want to see going into it. I don't want to know shit, and I mean I don't want to know the color of the motherfucker slippers. I don't want to know if the house was 2 stories or three. Like I don't want to know that shit. I want to go in it and be genuinely fucking surprised by everything. So that's the biggest thing with spoilers. And then on top of it, what you said about people get their hopes up with spoilers, like rest in peace to Bray Wyatt, but when he was supposed to come back to wrestling and everybody got their hopes up before he came back about, well, Bray's coming back. There's got to be Bray. It's got to be Bray, right? It's got to be Bray. And then I think it wasn't Bray one time and everybody was upset. But it's like nobody told y'all it was Bray. So why are you upset that it's not Bray Wyatt? You got fucking obsessed and leaked yourself that this was Bray. Nobody said this was Bray coming out. So you're booing the possibility of nothing except your own mind and other people telling you bullshit who have nothing to do with this company. So just sit back and enjoy the fucking ride. Imagine, and I'm not going to spoil it because it's one of the best endings of all time, if not probably the best. But imagine knowing the end of the Shawshank Redemption before you actually sat down and watched the entire movie.
Yeah, you'd end up
Why
never
would you?
watching the movie.
Why would you want to spoil that for yourself, dude? I don't get that. Like, oh, what? Did somebody spoil the end of Shawshank to you?
Society.
Oh, fuck. Because I know that the Sixth Sense got spoiled. I
Well,
get that.
yeah, society as well.
Damn.
It is what it is. It's my fault for going my whole life without watching it up until whatever year I was that I saw it. It happens. It also gets parodied all the time.
Does Shawshank get parodied that much? Sixth Sense does. Does Shawshank get parodied that much?
All right, I may have my movies mixed up. Which one had Morgan Freeman?
Shawshank Redemption, where Tim Robbins, Morgan Freeman, or
Which had the poster on the wall?
Rita Hayworth. That's Shawshank.
Then yes,
Hmm. Okay. Yeah, Sixth Sense is I see dead people. Right?
especially the poster scene.
I mean that gets parodied. Yeah. Okay. I guess so. Okay.
It gets parodied and referenced often.
But that's why I'm with you, man. Like you, and then people who want to spoil it for everybody else. Like I had a friend that I made, back in the days where I used to do blog TV. You came and did a few of those with me back in the day. Made a friend over there, shit, and um, my last Facebook account got hacked, so lost contact with him. But he after Endgame, like we say friends and shit. After Endgame, he just posts, and his post just said Iron Man dies. I'm like, why would you want to spoil this for everybody? And I'm like, dude, you was cool. Why are you doing this? And then he said a little later, and again, spoiler, but we all know this now. But around the time it came out, he said another one post he said a little later was Black Widow dies too. I'm like, why would you want to? Why? And that's all this. I'm like, why would you do this? So I don't know. I'm with you on leaks. Like, why the dirt sheets are like, speaking of leaks, the biggest thing in wrestling is dirt sheets, and people try to find all the insider info and talk about this is happening, that's happening, so and so's going here and all that. It's a constant war about what's right and what's wrong, and it's been happening since we were little fucking boys, and we're grown men. And they still do this shit, and it's like, why? Why ruin
Hmm.
a good fucking time? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I'm very much
So,
with you.
so yeah. So Evo Japan's coming up,
Oh yeah, my
and
bad.
there's a side event that's happening this Wednesday. That's the 29th. It's happening at like 4 a.m. over here because it's happening in Japan. So I won't be able to see it live. But they're doing a Legends exhibition where they have three, I think, of two first to fives or first to sevens, and then a first to 10. First to fives involve, I think, Fatal Fury City of the Wolves, that game, and involves a player named Goichi versus somebody. Goichi. legend of fighting games, whatever, blah, blah, blah. He's great. Arslan Ash is playing Tekken against somebody. If you don't know the name Arslan Ash, I'll just let you know he's won about 5 Evos since 2019, if not six. Um, yeah, and all in Tekken. He is like pretty much the number one Tekken guy in the world right now out of Pakistan. I got to be there for his first Evo win in 2019. And then there's the main event. Street Fighter 6, first to 10. Mena RD, the guy who's pretty much considered the number one Street Fighter player in the world, especially 6 right now. He's won Evo. He's also won Evo Japan before for Street Fighter 6. He's won Capcom Cup for Street Fighter 5, and he's always a high ranking competitor in this game. He's decided he's gonna try to go for, we mentioned Brock Lesnar taking down the Undertaker streak. The FGC, it's fighting games. It's really hard to have that kind of Undertaker streak. When I think of Undertaker streaks that you could have, there's Justin Wong's NBC2 reign, where I believe he went 1 or 2 years without losing a major tournament. That was crazy. I don't know if he lost a single, like if he ever went to losers in those. Like that, it was that bad. Sonic Fox and NetherRealm games for a good year, especially Injustice. But what I will say is the nature of fighting games is you eventually lose. It always happens. It's individual sports. It'd be that way, especially something like a video game where you're pressing buttons and trying to make decisions. Even the best chess master in the world is undefeated. But we do have one active streak going on. And that is, as far as long sets, one player is undefeated in these kind of exhibitions. And that is the man himself, Daigo Umehara.
Oh yeah, everybody knows Daigo.
Um, Daigo is not one of the best players in Street Fighter 6. He's still really good because he's fucking Daigo, but he's kind of off his rocket. But Minna wants to be the guy to finally dethrone Daigo in this whole first to 10 set format. Now, a little bit of history. So before you go, like, what are you talking about? And why do people care? So Street Fighter, Daigo Legend or whatever, Street Fighter 4, he wins the first two Evos. And then other players start really ramping up their skills and level of skill. Around 2013 or so, a character named Shen, or maybe no, around 2011, 2012. Doesn't matter. There's a guy named Shen, who we all know now, good player in himself. He wins Evo Street Fighter 4. He's winning every tournament that goes around. Daigo seems to be on the downslope. And people are like, well, Shen's clearly the best in the world. Even Daigo's like, yeah, he's playing like it. And Shen's like challenges Daigo to a first to 10 set because people have the rumors like Prep time Daigo is like prep time Batman. You just don't beat that motherfucker. So they had their set. Current Evo champion, winning every major around. Daigo, still top 8ing, but not winning any tournaments. Wins the set 10-0. Evo champion loses 10-0. About a year later, Infiltration, if you've heard that name, player skill wise, he won the one Evo that in Street Fighter 5, he won the Evo that was on ESPN.
Oh shit.
He also won an Evo in Street Fighter 4, where he went about a whole year winning every tournament. And he's like, well, I'm gonna show y'all who's really the best at Street Fighter 4. I'm going after the legend Daigo Umehara. 10-2, Daigo. And both times these people came to him. There were a couple other long sets, but I'm gonna fast forward a bit. You may have heard the name Tokido, the murder face, if you heard anything from me talking about him. There's, I believe he's listed as one of the five gods of Japanese Street Fighter or 2D fighting games
I
alongside Daigo.
forget games have their
Uh,
like the gods of this or whatever. Yeah, but
Yeah, I put it in quotes. Calm down. He, but Tokido's up there on Daigo's level, and in Street Fighter 5, again, let's have a whole year. Tokido's beating everybody, and now Daigo really ain't that nothing. Now Tokido's on top of his game. This ain't Street Fighter 4 no more. Let's run the or Daigo apparently was hosting like an event to like try and make people like watching longer sets, and he was inviting players to play against whoever they wanted to. And Tokido goes, I want to play against you. I want the honor of, I want to be the guy to beat you to do that. 10-5, Daigo wins. Tokido cries, literal tears in the interview
no,
because it meant that much to him to try and win that set. That's
damn.
the passion he was practicing and playing with. And he, according to Daigo, because I saw a video of it recently, he went to Daigo and was like, "Can you please play this seriously all the time?" Because Daigo was like, "Yeah, I started caring less as I got older. I just tournament play, whatever, but I apparently find another gear in these sets." That said, Mina RD has been winning nonstop or pretty often for the past 2 or 3 years the Street Fighter 6 has been out.
He's next in line.
Daigo has not. Daigo is old as shit and looks perpetually high. He may be. He is in his unk status. He's like 46 or something right now. When I say he's old as shit, yeah, 46 isn't old, but it is for in fighting games. He's pretty much been playing them as long as they've been around at this point. If he's 46. Um, and half the time you're gonna see a picture of Daigo at a tournament. He's either sleeping or like a picture that circulated from last year where he's like so he's not taking games nearly as seriously as he used to. And Meta wants to run the set. And they're running it this coming week, and everyone's doubting Daigo, myself included. I'm rooting for Daigo because I like when legends are legends, but also this is Mina RD. The times that he's gone against Daigo in tournament, it has not gone well for Daigo. But Daigo came out with a video like a week ago or a couple weeks ago. He was on a stream like, yeah, I won't be streaming as often because I didn't realize until I guess they were putting this event together how seriously Bida was taking this. So I need to take it just as seriously as he's taking it. Next, when he found out that Mena said he was willing to miss a major tournament, and some of these major tournaments have a shot to win because of Capcom Cup. Capcom Cup, the winner of it gets $1 million. So some of these major tournaments where the winning prize is a spot in Capcom Cup for a shot at $1 million, and Mena saying he's willing to miss an opportunity at one of those tournaments if it means running this first to 10 set with Daigo. Next thing you know, Daigo's sponsors are like at events like, yeah, Daigo can't come. He has to prepare. So I'm hoping that the set is good. I'm hoping that even if Daigo loses, it's a great set, but I'm looking forward to it. It's coming up this week, and I'm gonna enjoy it. As well as Evo Japan. Also, they're gonna have one of my favorite spectator sport games that I'm never gonna be able to play on a normal level, and that's Fist of the North Star, the fighting game. It's the most broken piece of
Okay.
shit ever. It's hilarious, but it's a main game at Evo Japan this year for some reason.
What's the name? I mean, I do also remember some years ago that Daigo faced in an exhibition my favorite rapper, Lupe Fiasco.
Hmm.
And Lupe beat him, but of course everybody was like, Daigo threw that fucking back.
Yeah, it was 2 out of 3. Daigo literally looked confused, like he thought they were gonna keep playing. So it was probably one of those things where it was like, eh, go up and then spectator wise, just come back, or whatever. But it doesn't matter. Excuses, excuses, dropping like deuces. Anyway,
And Lupe,
uh,
when the whole time he was like, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
yeah, the
Yes,
amount of
thank you. thanking
thanking.
power
He
to him
did
and saying
that
thank
bad.
you and shit. Oh shit! He's like, yes, yes, thank you, thank you, thank you. And I was like, look at this shit. And like I said, all the comments were like, he threw that fucking match.
Yeah,
And all things fucking considered, you would fucking believe that Daigo would throw a fucking fighting game match because Lupe Fiasco beating Daigo in a fighting game match is like if like Daigo having the best verse in a rap song with Lupe.
yeah.
it's what would you know? But who knows?
I would
Daigo may
love
have
to.
bars,
I would
but
love to hear Daigo rap. It would be
I'm saying he may have
hilarious.
bars, but
He
that's what
probably
you expect.
doesn't, but it'd be hilarious. Actually, he might. It is kind of funny. The few times I've heard him speak in English, he was talking shit to Justin, so that was funny.
Well, you can let him talk rap in Japanese.
Well,
You know,
that too, but I'm just yes, he can rap in Japanese, but I don't necessarily know like his personality from when he speaks Japanese
okay.
because, Nihongo wa hanasemasen. I don't speak the stuff. Okay. I don't speak Japanese. I speak English. Ego.
There you go.
Ego wa hanasemasu. I speak English.
For all those of us out there
Yo
who
hablo ego. How about that?
could you tell I was trying to segue to a fucking close
Nope.
and you just cut me off some random bullshit.
That's what I do. I'll cut off your random bullshit.
You know what that sounds like?
Yeah. Cut you.
Sounds like you're thinking about something else besides. I'm
I
just
cut
saying.
your dick.
If you just go straight up and say it, that's what the fuck it sounds like.
I cut off your random.
Like, whoa. That remind me, speaking of, random memories with us that we talked about in different episodes. That remind me of that one Disney Channel made for TV Disney Channel original movie, Brink, and they about skateboarding and shit. And one of the songs was "I'm gonna get under your skin sooner, your ass." Me and Ibn started singing that shit. I'm gonna get under your skin. You're gonna get under my skin. Wait a minute. Like, look, dude.
I don't remember that, but it sounds like something I would have done.
I love how you have said that a lot. I love how you say that. I don't remember that, but that sounds like me. Like you
Yeah,
say, oh,
because I mean, if I remembered something, I'll let you know. If I don't, I want
you
it to
just
be stated
know.
for the record, like, hey, I don't remember this. However, I'm not trying to call you a liar.
Well, no, it's
I
the
just
fact
have no
that
memory of it,
it's
but I
it's
could
some
see it.
wild shit, but you know that you're prone to say some random wild ass shit. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Anyway, outside of whatever may or may not be said, wild or otherwise, if you would like to follow us on our respective socials, then you can go ahead and find yours truly. As we said, yes, I did get my music on. I did rap here and there from time to time. So if you would like to check anywhere that you stream music, go ahead and look me up under the name Super Jazz. That's going to be SUPERJAZ. Also, if you would like to follow me, you can go ahead and find and follow me on Instagram under the name Forever Super Jazz. So that's going to be the word forever spelled correctly, followed by Super Jazz, all one word. Also, yes, I have a theater company. If you happen to be within the St. Louis area or not, and you just want to follow the theater company, then you can go ahead and look up Aquarian Rising Productions. That's going to be AQURIAN, Aquarian, not Aquarius. Go ahead and look up Aquarian Rising Productions. Find and follow us on Facebook. And you can also find us under the handle Official Aquarian Rising on Instagram if you happen to be within the St. Louis area. Our upcoming show is Yarns. See if we can get that glare out the way. Yarns, which is the stories and plays of Zora Neale Hurston, adapted for the stage by Gregory S. Carr, directed by yours truly. Uh, got two Pay What You Can performances on the Sunday. What is it? It opens the 19th. It's the last 19th of June, last 2 weekends of June. Two Pay What You Can performances on Sunday. Otherwise, it's $20. Where can they find you, sir?
You can find me right here on the Feo Grande YouTube network. You can also find me elsewhere on YouTube. Maybe, not sure, but you can find me on Twitter and Twitch at Giotavi. That is Giotavi. Come on in. Stop on by. I'm streaming Earn Day 240. You know what that means? Of course you do. Been streaming a lot. Streaming a lot. Come on in. Enjoy it. Anyway, I ain't got much else to say to us or to you lovely folks except for thank you for watching. You know what?
Well, you would think after all this time I would know the motherfucking answer to this question. It's kind of weird, but I mean, who's to say, right? Help me out here, man. What the fuck are we gonna talk about next time? Be nice to yourself, everybody. For real.
La 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 la.